Let's kick it off, y'all. It's that time again. The new stage is now set, so let the party begin. Everybody knows the name of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go Cowboys.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the season finale of the Cowboys Fan Show. As always, I'm your host, Tyler Ortega, joined again by Scott Jeter. And Scott, the Cowboys season has officially come and gone with that loss to Green Bay in the divisional round. Now, it was a close game at the end of the game. To start off, Dallas, nowhere to be found seemingly. It was 21-3 before they knew it, and really it was just a hole that they couldn't dig themselves out of.
Well, I wouldn't say that's necessarily true because they did dig themselves out of that hole. I don't think that the game was lost in that first three touchdowns. I mean, they came out, they scored on us right quick. They put up 21 right away, and we had to dig ourselves out of the hole. We did. I actually do believe that this game was lost in the final minute and a half, to be honest with you, Tyler.
About 48 seconds left to be exact.
49 to be exact when he spiked that ball.
Let's have a look at these highlights this week in the film room, as we know it took us about a week to get over that loss. That's why we're doing this episode now. But we'll pick it up here just less than a minute into the game with Terrence Williams getting the pass from Dak Prescott to the outside. Picks up the first down, and now passing the ball, Scott, we saw a lot of this early on behalf of the Cowboys.
Yeah, and I actually thought that T-Will had a really good game this game. Contract here for him. I'm curious to see what happens with this guy in the offseason.
I do think he gets re-signed. He's proved to be a good complement alongside Dez. Dez being the more physical receiver, Terrence Williams being more of the speed receiver. So I think that those two guys complement each other well. Getting back to the game here, Ty Montgomery getting the carry up the middle for the first down, and Rodgers now goes outside to Cobb. Cobb's going to pick up the first down, and the secondary, Scott, they pretty much got chewed up and spit out in the first half.
I wouldn't necessarily say it was the secondary, to be completely honest with you. I mean, we had a lot of trouble getting to Rodgers right there. I mean, they kind of got hung out to dry. I have a lot of faith in those guys. I'd like to see a lot of those guys get re-signed also, but I mean, Sean Lee right there, linebacker on this guy right here. He's just too good, man. I mean, that's a mismatch.
Pro Bowl linebacker Sean Lee, he was a late addition, and now Rodgers facing some pressure. He's going to air it out, and I think that's a throw that only Rodgers can make. Outside the pocket, on the run, puts it right up in the top corner where only his receiver can get it. Now back to Rodgers on a 3rd and 3. He finds his receiver for the first down again. The Packers offense really weren't having very much trouble here in the first half. As you see there, another catch, that one by Adams, picking up the first down. J.J. Wilcox finishing him off now, 2nd and goal. They're going to hand it off to Montgomery. He gets in. That's one of his 2 touchdowns on the day. He had 11 carries, only 47 yards. But, the 2 touchdowns are all that counts.
Yeah, that's all that really matters. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was getting there, and he was punching those guys in right there. And, yeah, as far as the secondary goes, I thought, Byron Jones had a rough day. He did not do well.
Yeah, absolutely. The sophomore slump, as they call it. Byron was not tremendously impressive as he was last year in his rookie year, as we see Rodgers again finding his receiver for the first down, and now dropping back on a 1st and 10. He has all day back there.
Yeah. That's, just nothing you can really do as a secondary.
Wide receiver wide open, and that's just what happens in the NFL. You give a quarterback too much time, and these receivers, they're fast. There's a reason they're professional wide receivers. These guys can get open.
Yeah, and they were getting there, and we just weren't getting enough pressure on Rodgers. And I think that was actually one of the keys of the game, was pressure Rodgers, and it just was not happening in that first half.
It was indeed, and here we see Dallas falling behind 14-3. They're going to mark Adams out just shy of the goal line. Not to worry, they're going to hand it off to Montgomery. He gets in, extends the lead to 21-3. We're not even at halftime yet.
Not even at halftime yet, and it's looking pretty grim for us. However, they start handing the ball to this guy right here, and that's when good things start to happen.
And Zeke Elliott that just picked up the first down. Dak Prescott now finds Dez Bryant. That was one of Dez's 9 catches. He had 132 yards through the air. He did have 2 touchdowns. This is one of them here, the first one, as that's just a little fly route down the sideline. Doesn't get much easier than that for 88.
Oh no, Dez, he makes it look easy. Dez is, he's a player. I'm glad that we have him. Trade him.
Trade Dez Bryant.
Not going to happen ever. He's the real deal.
Kickoff here after Dallas scores the touchdown, 21-10, and he's going to drop it at the goal line. Now Dallas is set up in a good position here to get a stop. They do get it back to the offense, and the offense here trying to put up some points, just before half, about 3.5 minutes left to go. Dak Prescott sliding for the first down. 3rd and short again. He's going to go over the middle. That's Cole Beasley just getting rocked.
Yeah, he's taken some big hits this year, but I mean, he's a tough guy. He always gets up, and he played well in this game as well.
Yeah, he's like rubber. He just bounces right back up. There's Dan Bailey, the most accurate kicker in NFL history, tacking on the 3 points. So we go to halftime, 21-13. Dallas are trailing. Now, this was just before the half again, as Scandrick comes off the edge untouched. Never seen a sack like that, Scott.
Yeah, no, that looked good. I mean, and here we go. In the second half, we really started getting some pressure. And that's the thing is, it was time for Marinelli to start dialing up the blitz, Tyler. I mean, Rodgers was picking us apart in the first half. We had to do something. We went into halftime, made some changes, and came out just firing all cylinders on defense. I mean, the guys were rushing from all over the field.
You know, and this stuff right here, just a tremendous, tremendous catch by Randall Cobb. You can't really do much about that. And there's Rodgers again going on the go route, and that's going to be hauled in by his receiver. I think that's Allison, right?
That was Jared Cook right there. Man, he had a huge day.
Yeah, Jared Cook, 6 catches, 104 yards, and this touchdown right here.
It just ate our safeties up all day. Wilcox actually had a really good year this year. I think probably the best year he'd had so far, but just between him and Byron Jones, I mean, Cook just ate him up.
And now here goes Dallas again, giving the ball to my MVP. Probably won't be the NFL AP MVP, but still, Zeke Elliott picks up the first down there. Zeke had himself quite the day, Scott. 125 yards on the ground, but only 22 carries. I think he should have had at least 30. And this play right here, this was one of the biggest plays of the game. The play before this, Zeke rushes for 9 yards on 1st and 10. You're set up with a 2nd and 1. And you throw a quick screen to a receiver.
Quick wide receiver screen. Yeah, I completely disagree with that call right there. And it just wasn't there. The way that it was set up, I feel that was a rookie mistake by Dak. I mean, he should have recognized that the defense was ready for that. They're right pressed up on that line right there, and that's a 50-50 ball to be put up.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even go that far as Jeff Heath gets the interception. That snaps Rodgers' streak of, what was it, like 9 games without an interception.
Yeah, he was.
Something like that.
He was hot. But I predicted 2 in this game, and this was 1.
Jeff Heath did catch a second one, but we'll see what happens on that one as Rodgers doesn't know what's going on here. 28-13, Dallas trails 2nd and 21. Dak Prescott's going to find Dez Bryant, and he's going to get it down to a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 to be exact. And now on the, let's see what's going on here. The 4th quarter, I'm sorry, we've moved on to the 4th, 2nd and 5. Dak Prescott finds Terrence Williams, picks up the first down, and Dallas really starting to get into gear here, Scott. 3rd and 14, Jason Witten picking up the first down. Dallas now knocking on the door, trying to find the end zone. Little play action here, and he's going to find Jason Witten, and we just have to pause from the game for a second and give all props to Jason Witten, you know, a storied veteran in this NFL, one of the best tight ends in history. That was his first career postseason touchdown. Well-deserved, Jason Witten.
Yeah, absolutely. He had quite the year this year also. I mean, that was the one thing that I hated to see is after this game, as that man had to, he was holding his head in his hands, and I love Jason Witten, and I mean, we really got to step up for this guy next year.
Yeah, Witten is, I feel he's like the equivalent of Tim Duncan that used to be in the NBA. You know, he's just a good player all around. You just can't hate the guy, just minus the rings, like you said. Anyways, Zeke Elliott up the right side, picking up the first down, 20-28. And there goes Zeke once again, Scott. Zeke was gashing this Packers defense all day long.
4th quarter, they had 0 answers for this guy. I mean, and if you've been watching the highlights, I mean, you just watch how the entire defense was frozen anytime they did a play action with him, and just can't get him down.
Yeah, and if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen how many times did I tweet, give Zeke the ball, give MVP the ball, give 21 the ball. Somebody get this guy a touch. Magic happens when the ball's in his hands, Scott.
He was one of the 4th quarter all by himself, Tyler.
Now 3rd and 2 here, another play action. There's Dez Bryant catching his 2nd touchdown of the day. This one's going to bring the Cowboys to within 1. Actually, Jason Garrett wants to go for 2 here. The 2-point attempt, the Packers didn't see this coming, Scott.
Did not see that coming. That's a design play all the way. Just run up the middle. Beautifully done. Completely fooled those guys and got it done.
Ensuing possession for the Packers now. Rodgers finds his receiver. That's Adams. He twisted his ankle on that play. He would be injured. I don't think he would even come back the rest of the game,
actually. It looked pretty rough if you were looking at that. I mean, yeah, that thing got twisted around pretty good. I mean, he's a tough guy, but, man, that looked like it hurt.
Now getting back here as Ty Montgomery falls forward just a yard shy of the first down on the ensuing play. It's a play action, not a play action, an option there for Rodgers as he takes it, picks up the first down. Now Rodgers once again evading the pressure, just throws it up, and this was it.
That was it. That's right
Oh,
there.
man.
That was gonna make me look like I knew what I was talking about on this. 2 interceptions for Rodgers on the day, who hadn't thrown one in forever, and it gets called back right there.
Called back. They're calling a pass interference on the rookie, Anthony Brown.
Brown, yeah.
You know, if you go back and look at that play, he really just hooked him. It should have been a holding.
Grabbed him by the shoulder pad. The ball was not in the air yet.
Yeah.
So technically, if it's going to be pass interference, the ball's supposed to be in the air. It should have been a holding call. It would have been an automatic first down anyway, but it negated the interception.
And now let's see what the rookie's made of. Dak Prescott with 66 seconds to go, trying to lead his Cowboys back to tie or take the lead. He finds Witten there on the boundary of the first down marker, and the refs are going to move it up. They'll give it to him on the first down, and here 48 seconds left. Dak takes the snap, gets it out to Beasley, and Beasley gets out of bounds. So 40 seconds left. Dallas kicking the field goal here, Scott, even though, you know, they still have a few downs left. Dan Bailey does make it. It's tied at 31, but you give Rodgers 35 seconds and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, that one actually was on 4th down because, and we didn't see this in the highlights, but Dak came up and spiked the ball at 49 seconds, and we lost it down on that. And on 3rd down, the ball was batted down, and I believe you should have run the ball at that point. It had 2 timeouts, the ability to work the middle of the field. It puts your defense in a really tough situation going against a guy like Rodgers. Able to work the middle of the field with a lot of time as far as, 2 timeouts are concerned. And this is what happens.
Yeah, this is the play everyone was talking about. It's 3rd and 20, Scott.
Yeah.
There's 3 seconds left on the clock. You allow them to get to the sideline. You allow them to get behind you, stop the clock, get in field goal range, and for what it's worth, that was an amazing catch by Jared
Amazing
Cook.
catch, amazing throw. Problem with that is, you have to allow them to get to the sideline because I don't know if you notice guys up in the upper left-hand corner in these highlights, they had a timeout.
They did have a
timeout left even after the sack. They had a timeout left, which means that Rodgers could have thrown anywhere on that field, so it put our guys in a tough position.
And this was it as Mason Crosby, he kicked the field goal, but Jason Garrett iced him. So let's see if he can do it again. And this one was looking like it was going wide left, Scott, but it squeaks through, and the Packers are victorious in Jerry World. They would move on to lose to the Falcons, but they beat us 34-31. Dak Prescott,
those guys.
Yeah, Dak Prescott had over 300 yards passing, as I said. Zeke Elliott, 125 yards on the ground. Des Bryant, 132 yards through the air. If you would have gave me those numbers prior to the game and tell me that Dallas still lost, I would have told you you're crazy.
No, true, but I mean, at the same time, if you get those stats, you have to throw in the whole, hey, we didn't rush Rodgers the entire first half of this game. You're going to say, wow, he put up 50 then, didn't he? So I think that, play calling was a result of this game. Was a result of play calling issues that I think that we had in this game. I don't think that we made the adjustments quickly enough, and absolutely just the clock management at the end just killed our chances.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying they're worried about how Dak and the rookies were going to react to being under that pressure. I actually think it was the coaching staff that actually panicked there at the end of the game.
It was, and I don't know if it was a played call, but Dak absolutely should not have spiked that ball with 49 seconds left. I mean, you got 2 timeouts on the board. You're trying to use that clock, so that could have been a rookie mistake right there. I also think that no matter what they're trying to do, I mean, 3rd and 3 right there, you're getting 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not hand that ball off and take enough of that time? Regardless, you still have a timeout left. They got 2 timeouts left. You don't get the first down, cool. You can take it down to 4 seconds and call your last timeout. If not, then you force them to use one of their timeouts, and they're not able to work the middle of the field in that last little highlight that we saw there. So.
I've got my producer in my ear telling me we've got to go to break, but don't worry, we'll be right back. We're going to have a few more questions here about this Cowboys-Packers game. You're watching the Cowboys Fan Show on UABQ.